My grandmother, who never finished the 9th grade, grew up in a holler outside of Beckley, West Virginia. In the Appalachian community, there was always an extra place set at the dinner table because you never knew who might come by. And certainly I learned that from my parents as well, who fostered children for the better part of 30 years. At one point or another, they counted up that 47 kids had come through our house growing up, not all at the same time. And they carried on that tradition of having an extra place set at the table. And that's what America's mayors and why this Agenda for America is so important. America needs mayors now more than ever before. This Agenda for America that the U.S. Conference of Mayors is promoting and pushing is about the things that matter most to us that partisanship has no role in. Putting people first, focusing on housing, infrastructure, mental health, safety, continuing to build resiliency in our communities to deal with climate change. We think those are things that the American people care about and that we as mayors have a critically important role in leading. I've attended my first RNC and attended the DNC as well to push this Agenda for America.
We've been walking the halls of Capitol Hill and taking meetings at the White House.
We've also been to swing states because it's critically important that we keep these issues that matter so much to the American people front and center. And we need to take that same spirit and effort to tackle housing, continue to make our cities safer, all through that work in a bipartisan way.
It's my honor to welcome the U.S. Conference of Mayors National Traveling Tour here to the city of Detroit.
The conference is touring the country to highlight success stories and opportunities for more investment, and we are so honored to welcome the conference and its incredible staff to the city of Phoenix.
We are here now touring our great city of Philadelphia to explore some of the solutions that we've proffered in addressing issues associated with housing.
Each year we have a president, and this year that is Mayor Ginther of Columbus. He has done such a terrific job of bringing us together, especially around this issue that he aptly described as the issue of our time, which is housing. And that's why we're here. That's why he's going to so many important cities across the United States.
And our focus is very clear. There are many issues facing great American cities all over this country. Housing is not an issue, it is the issue. Regardless of where you go in America, housing is by far the #1 issue facing great American cities.
A home is where we gather as a family, where we keep ourselves safe. But homes go beyond the fact that they're an individual unit, is that they're connected to a community.
We know this issue is affecting everyone. The cost to rent or own a home is painfully high.
It's not hard to put a human face on this.
I meet with school administrators who are debating whether students should be able to park cars and sleep on campus. That is heartbreaking. We got to do better.
In fact, many people are spending more than half of their income on rent. And we know what that means is that families are making decisions about how much food do I put on the table tonight? Do I go to that doctor visit or not? Can I get the car repaired? Because there's an old adage that says the rent eats first.
And as a nation, we're falling short in response. Rising rents are a function of a failure to build affordable housing, as well as a historic lack of federal investment that spans 4 decades. You can't really have a city run. People can't afford to live there.
Housing is foundational for individual financial well-being, for health and security, and for access to community.
We've been unapologetic about announcing that we are firmly committed to delivering change that residents can see, touch, and feel.
We need more units, and we know nationally it's millions of more housing units in the pipeline to make housing more affordable for everybody.
That would look like, how do we bring more modern means of manufacturing to housing? Build more off-site building of housing? How do we make sure that local governments allow us to put that simpler housing into place?
The U.S. Conference of Mayors will be leading a charge, demanding historic new federal housing legislation
that spurs investment in low and middle income housing.
I want to thank you, Mayor Ginther, for making housing affordability the #1 priority of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I am here specifically advocating for a change in community development grant funding. I'm here asking for additional funding to help families buy homes, but also to stay in homes, and also for a change in low-income tax credits to allow developers to build more single-family homes.
This will only happen if Republicans and Democrats work together at all the levels of government to see solutions driven down to the local.
Doesn't matter if it's D or R. When it comes to our local officials, party doesn't matter. And that's what I love so much about the Conference of Mayors and why it's great to be here today.
We all deserve dignity, we all deserve opportunity, and we all deserve a right to a high quality home and place to live.
We are trying to get creative about some other things that we can do to facilitate the development of more housing.
We're rewriting our zoning code for the first time in 70 years. The U.S. Conference of Mayors is one of the last bastions of bipartisanship in this country. The U.S. Conference of Mayors is going to be ready, willing, and able to help shape this critically important transformational housing investment we have in our community, the city, the county, the state, the private sector, philanthropic interests all working together. The only missing partner right now is the federal government. We know over 90% of our economy goes through our metro areas. Cities are the past, the present, and the future of America. And there always has to be room for one more in our cities. America's mayors give me a great deal of hope. The American people give me a great deal of hope. This is America, and we know when we work together and focus on what's most important, there's nothing this country can't do. It's been one of the greatest honors in my life to be able to serve as president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Mayors are very special. Former mayor used to say many folks run for office to be, mayors run for office to do. And what the U.S. Conference of Mayors represents to me is an exceptionally bright future for America if they continue to follow mayors' leads who are willing to roll up their sleeves, get to work, focus on people, focus on results, and the future is very bright, the United States of America.